I was gonna do this video anyways on how I did on the regional. The regional, I had a lot of fun seeing all my friends again and getting to play more, but I feel like after this event, and probably after the Megatons, I'm gonna take a break till we get a ban list and until we get Darkwing Blast and Magnificent Mavens released. So I was planning on doing this if I topped or not. So let's get right into it. For this event, I brought Sprite, which was at the Detroit Regional. Didn't do so hot. It was 2-3. I went against two Sprites, one Branded Despia, one Fluffle, and a Virtual World Adventurer. As I go through, I'm going to be explaining some of my tech choices, of course, and a lot of other things as well. But I have to thank the whole entire event staff for putting the event together. I had a lot of fun no matter what. So let's get right into it, and let me get that off the screen. So first off, we have triple Sprite Blue. I did have to borrow a Sprite Blue because out of my case I only pulled two, which was kind of sad, but I loved summoning this card. I've loved doing all the combos, but the deck gets super linear, so this is really the only time I'm going to be playing the deck, and I'm going to be swapping to something else probably within the next few months once I figure out what I'm going to be doing. But with the break, I'm going to explain more later on. Then we had triple Jet, double Red, and the 1 Carrot. Now, this is the Sprite lineup that I ran, the 3-3-2-1. I wasn't opting in for Pixies, which if I did play, I would have won a couple games, but I still am not a fan of Pixies. Sure, it's another name, but I feel like it could definitely change a few things of outcomes. But overall, this proved super well. The second Sprite Red definitely came up a lot in games, which helped a ton. But if I I would have played another I would have played the Pixies along with the 2 Red and 1 Carrot, just so it rounds out to 10 Sprite monsters. So there is that. Now let's get into the engines that I played. I was either going to run the Dark Spirit Beast or another engine like the Live Twin engine, but I decided to do the triple Deep Sea Diva. There were points that the level 1 Sea Serpent that just released would have came in handy, but sadly it didn't really come to that much of fruition. And then of course we have the Frog engine, one of the best engines, the triple Swap Frog, the 1 Dupe, and 1 Rontone. I only saw my opponent superpower me once through that whole entire event. Now, Deep Sea Diva is so great, it's hand trap bait, and I really like it. The Dark Summoning Beast engine does the exact same thing, but it also gets around Winda. Then we also have Swap Frog. This card's utterly broken, along with Rontone, and I'm still running the Dupe Frog because it's very useful if you run out of the Swap Frog to send. Because what ended up happening, I link climbed, and I summoned Swap Frog multiple times, and I'm like, oh, I don't really have a target. But I remembered I have the Dupe Frog that I could send. So it worked out very well in the end. If I were to hit anything in this deck, it would have to be the Rontone, because being able to just banish something to summon it back and link climb, or go into Exceed summoning is very, very powerful. This card has seen its problem in the past with Mass Driver and all that. So it's just one of those cards that I definitely think is on the chopping block if Konami goes that route to save Toad. After that, we have the Hand Trap Suite. I ran 15 in the main, and they all worked out super well. We have the triple Ash Blossom. This is like one of the best cards of the weekend for me. Also, the triple Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit, also very good. The Adventure Virtual World player, I actually had this in double of another hand trap I play in my hand, and they couldn't really do anything. We also have the triple Effect Veiler. I normally sided one Effect Veiler and the Ghost Ogres out if I didn't need them for other cards, which helped so much with the space. Triple DD Crow, very, very, very powerful, and triple Imperm. Now, I built my deck more going into the meta and not the Rogue, because the Rogue decks I went against, being Virtual World and the Branded Despia deck, these really didn't do anything. Ashe did a little, but still didn't do enough. Veiler did its job. Imperm did its job, but it just didn't do enough for the time. And I feel like I could have swapped out something like the Ghost Ogres for something else, maybe like triple Super Poly with a couple fusion targets in the extra deck just in case. Overall, I was pretty happy with the hand trap lineup outside of really Ghost Ogre, but Ghost Ogre is also very good in the mirror match, which I sadly had to go against my friend, but those things do happen at events like these. And then for the spell cards, we're on to the spell cards. Triple Sprite Starter and 1 Smasher. I really, really want to up Smashers to 2 if I play the deck again. This card is absolutely pretty good, brutal, because it banishes a card your opponent has. And sure, you have to banish 2 cards just to get rid of something, so it's a 3-for-1 really. But it's a good form of interruption in my opinion. And starters, the E-Telly. Starter. Then for the board breaker, I ran triple Dark Ruler no more. I wish I had droplets. I wish I had talents. Those would have helped out so much. And the Called by the Grave. Overall, I didn't even use Dark Ruler no more once, which kind of sad. Now for the extra deck. We have the 1 Divine Arsenal AA Zeus because that's pretty good, along with the Downward and a Sky Cavalry. This is the typical package that you do run in the deck, which I really do like. Zeus is such a powerful card in this deck, and without the sprites being level 2, you would have to rely on level 1s or 3s if they decided to do that. Then also we have the Totally Awesome and the double Gigantic Sprite. Now, in my opinion, I did stay to my other mirror match that either Totally Awesome or Rodent Toad needs to go, because Totally Awesome is such a very insane card. Being an Omni Negate that sets stuff to your field to get you more advantage is very, very powerful. Now, out of the extra deck here for the Exceeds, the one that I would cut the most would be the Sky Cavalry, but it did come up a lot, so it's probably going to stick there. But for the Link monsters, there's a few that I'm going to cut. Access Code is pretty much staying because it's one of the most broken Link monsters there is, next to the Charmers. Mech Knight Crusadia Avramax is the card that I probably will cut in the future, because I've made it a couple times, but it didn't really do much. It was just there, and I shuffled stuff back, but it's absolutely fine. Nightmare Unicorn's super amazing. I really like it. It's still a powerful card. And of course, we have the IP Masquerader to go with it, because IP Masquerader is just a super amazing card, and it's one of my favorite cards to run, and I'm happy I get to run it again. For the other Link monsters, we have the 1 the Dark Charmer. Didn't summon it once, because in the mirror matches, it never came up because, well, close out the game and you don't need it, or you just get blown out. Christian Haka Fibrex, I'm definitely going to be cutting this with the Avramax, because I'd like to have a couple Super Poly targets in the extra deck. Also, I did pick up a 3rd Ultimate Slayer, so I'm probably going to be running the Evil Twin Troubled Sunny stuff in it as well. We have Double Sprite Elf. I'm probably going to bump it up to 3 because this card's so broken, and there were times that I needed the 3rd one. But outside of that, I did play the 1 Pit Knight earlier. And overall, I just sent it off of Ultimate Slayer, and that's it. So that's the 3rd card that's going to be cut out of the extra deck. So what in my opinion will I be replacing these? Well, of course the 3rd Sprite Elf. That is for sure. And 2 Super Poly targets, 100%. But I also might shift to a different build of Sprite, like the Tri-Brigade Sprite, so that is that for sure. And finally, we have the side deck. Now, I ran Nibiru just in case of that random rogue option that love to special summon a lot. Then you also have the 2 Ultimate Slayer. Ultimate Slayer did come up a couple times, which was very good, and never came up. It actually did come up once for Toad, and that was actually very good. Then we have Triple Cosmic Cyclone and the one Harpy Feather Duster, because I respect Mystic Mine, as many people don't respect it that much, which is kind of shocking, in my opinion. Now, some of the cards that I wish I did change at last minute, which was a Pointer of the Red Lotus, actually came very helpful for sniping out a Super Holly from my opponent's hand, but I still lost because I forgot to activate it again. And then Triple Solemn Judgment. This card is such a blowout card that I'm actually keeping it. The card that I would definitely cut would be the Appointers, because I would run another Ultimate Slayer and 2 other cards. But I hope you guys did enjoy this deck profile on my take of Sprite. But I want to know what you guys think about the deck. But anyways, I've been Bolt Spider. See you guys in the next video. And goodbye.